Back at Vari-Angle, Olympus had this thing heavily under the wraps.
Sorry, I have no camera on board.
Oh, really?
Yeah, only in the vitrine.
They always tell me that. You can look but not touch. Please?
But is it worth the mystery and the hype?
Why are we couching here for? What's wrong? We are in the Kamesan Country Park with a lot of monkeys. So the government think that when there's a lot of real monkeys, they need a fake one here. So yeah. Do not stare at monkeys or you will obey them. No touch, no talk, no eye contact. Caesar Milan.
Dude, it has such freaking big nuts. It has the largest nuts I've ever seen.
I don't want to say anything.
Olympus has all the big numbers. It's got 60 FPS at RAW if the electronic shutter is on and AF is locked. 18 FPS with continuous tracking. And the biggest number of all is it costs $2,000.
Oh,
$2,000 for a micro four thirds.
A micro four thirds camera.
No longer micro price. No longer micro size. It costs more than an X-T2, more than X Pro 2, more than 6300, and I think it's more than a 6500.
We have the 12 to 100 millimeters f4 lens. So on the 2 times crop, this would go to 200 millimeters. On a lens this size, it's smaller than this 24 to 70 f4.
And it's light too. Super light. Yeah, and this is pretty new, and I think it's only with this one and the 300 millimeter that you can get the full 6.5 optical stabilization. And Olympus said the reason why they couldn't go any further than 6.5 is because the rotational
of the Earth.
Yeah, the rotational field of the Earth would have made it shake. So.
Oh, it got a beer. It got a beer. Oh, it's drinking it.
Just when we start to feel comfortable on these seemingly chilled and relaxed primates.
Oh.
Oh shit. Yo. Dude, it fucking hissed that. Did you see that?
Yeah.
It was like two pumps in and it was like.
It's like when we look at it, it's like, it's mine. It's like,
right. You can have it.
it.
You can have that ass. It's okay. We don't want that.
Mating season.
Mating season. Oh.
Yes, mating season. Mating season from October to December. December is the highest, the climax.
The climax.
Now this is what I learned from Casey. Caesar Milan as well. You turn sideways, it's less intimidate, so I can use this. We have come to test like 18 FPS or 60 FPS, because it can take 60 FPS when you set it to AF-S. They don't call it AF-S, but then you can do 60 FPS. It's basically a slow-mo video. Is it F60 now? Not yet. How do I set it? Now we're looking for 60 FPS. We found that 60 FPS, but then it don't let me choose 18 FPS for some reason. It says 15 here.
We know it can do it. First, we were confused about how the low burst with the heart supposedly goes up to 18 FPS, and how the high burst without a heart goes to 15 FPS. We couldn't even pick a shutter setting with the heart symbol. What does a heart even mean? Wait, let's try it out.
It's still mechanical.
Then, we couldn't even find out how to turn the electronic shutter in the menu.
I know some of you guys are going to comment, oh, just check out the instruction manual, but if you design it well, your user don't need to use the instruction manual.
So in the end, we needed to call for help. Our local Olympus expert back at the Digital-Rev office.
On the very left, they have a camera icon and...
Oh yes.
Oh, you can set either silence 2 seconds. What? Let me see silence mode setting.
0 second.
Alright, so the hearts mean silence, and then silence mean electronic. Why don't they just call it electronic?
H is without AF, and low speeds with AF.
Oh, okay.
This is like our personal Siri. It's like, Elton, how do you turn on the camera?
Alright, thank you.
Thank you, Elton.
Bye, see you later. Now that's the totally different language that Olympus use.
He was speaking to us in Olympus language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you can pick AFC, but when you pick high speed, it don't do AFC, and then it don't tell you.
Armed with this information, of course, we need to put it to a good use.
Woo. Look at that! Look at that! I don't mean the monkeys, I mean the camera. Shit. Oh. Shit. Yeah, sure.
Anyway, so you can have 15 FPS with single autofocus and using mechanical shutter. This already blows every other DSLR out of the water except for the 1DX Mark II. And of course, we have 60 FPS in silent mode, which means electronic shutter in normal photography English. You know, when my tracking right now is locked onto his nipples. It's not going for the face, it's just locked on directly for the nipples. 121 phase detection points across the frame is damn useful. And look at that green AF tracking cross, straight out of Top Gun. However, it all leads just away from the target if it's against the blue sky. One thing that's quite different from Top Gun.
What are you doing, Ian?
I'm trying to get the not pro capture mode. High 50 megapixel high res shot.
Actually capture more than one shot and then combine them into one big shot, something like that.
So how does Olympus do this? In high res mode, the camera does an 8 FPS burst and shifts the sensor a tiny bit around, then combines these 8 pictures into one 50 megapixel picture. It's almost like in the movies when you can magically enhance an image. The result is decent. It does make it seem like you have a 50 megapixel camera, even though the camera itself only has a 20 megapixel sensor. There's plenty of resolution to work with, even though of course it only works with stationary objects. The ISO button is also, they have so many dials here. They have like 4 dials on top, but they have everything except for ISO.
Yes.
So,
no ISO button, no white balance button.
They give you HDR button and histogram button, but
Now for taking video, apart from the 4K capability, a very useful 4K, it got sensor shift IS, which is already pretty amazing. Zoom into equivalent 200 millimeters. I'm still just doing handheld, 200 millimeters. There's a guy chilling with monkeys. There's a monkey over there coming towards us. This is on continuous AF as well. I'm still on 200 millimeters equivalent, handheld. And now another mode is sensor shift plus digital IS. Now it is really stable. At first it's a bit weird because it's kind of like overcompensating. When I pan and I stop, it just suddenly dooms, like hitting a wall, kind of stop. And it don't follow your movement, you don't follow your panning, tilting immediately, but it's doing like pan shot. This is like on a tripod. Alright, I don't think this mode is useful for everything. It's useful to fake that you have a tripod, but just yet when I do whatever pan, it looks so fake. So I think the sensor shift is more useful for most situations.
overall, it looks pretty promising, right? Maybe if you're an Olympus shooter, but there's one problem for anyone looking to convert. The ISO performance just isn't that great above 1600, and because action often requires high shutter speeds and the lenses aren't super fast, that means photographers have to pump up the ISO. Because of this, in super controlled environments with good exposure, the camera can give amazing results. But when cameras that will work well in all conditions, such as the T500, cost $1,800, well, I think Olympus is really at its limits here. They can't go high res due to the small sensor, so they go for speed. But who really needs 18 FPS? You might as well go 6K and freeze frame. Your move, Panasonic.